today's fast-paced world, self-care has become a popular phrase. But in African and diasporic traditions, self-care is not a trend, it is survival. It is a way of honoring the body, calming the spirit, and staying rooted in community. From the Caribbean to the Americas, from the villages of West Africa to the neighborhoods of Black America, rituals of care have been passed down like sacred seeds, carrying healing wisdom from generation to generation. Self-care in these traditions is not only about the individual, it is about community, ancestors, and the balance between the physical and the spiritual. It is about remembering that our wellness is tied to something greater than ourselves. Self-care as resistance. For the African diaspora, self-care has always been an act of resistance. During centuries of enslavement, oppression, and displacement, caring for one's body and spirit was a radical act. To nourish the self was to say, I am worthy, I will not be broken. Even today, this truth remains. Self-care is not selfish. It is a declaration of dignity. When we rest, when we heal, when we honor our inner lives, we are reclaiming space in a world that often demands our exhaustion. Rituals of the body. Many self-care practices from the African diaspora begin with the body. The body carries stress, trauma, and memory. To care for it is to begin healing. In West African traditions, cleansing rituals using water, herbs, or oils are common. Baths infused with plants like neem, hibiscus, or eucalyptus are not only for physical hygiene, but for spiritual renewal. In the Caribbean, bush teas made from ginger, lemongrass, or sorrel are sipped not just to ease illness, but to restore balance. Even the simple act of braiding hair, passed lovingly from mothers to daughters, is a ritual of care. It is not only about beauty, it is about touch, patience, connection, and the weaving together of identity. Rituals of the spirit. Self-care in African traditions also tends to the spirit. Prayer, meditation, and song are central. In the diaspora, church choirs, drum circles, and healing gatherings are spaces where the spirit is refreshed. Singing together is medicine. Dancing together is medicine. Silence, too, when taken with intention, can be a deep medicine for the soul. One powerful ritual is the act of pouring libation. By offering water or drink to the earth and calling the names of ancestors, people affirm that they are not alone. They stand within a long line of love and protection. This simple act nourishes the spirit and strengthens identity. Rituals of community. Another truth of self-care in the diaspora is that healing is communal. As the proverb says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. In African-centered traditions, self-care is rarely practiced in isolation. Meals are cooked and shared, wisdom is exchanged, and people sit together to laugh, grieve, and celebrate. This community-centered care reminds us that we are not meant to carry life alone. In the diaspora, practices like Sunday dinners, neighborhood gatherings, or collective prayer circles continue to embody these truths. They provide a nourishment that goes beyond food. It is the nourishment of belonging. Everyday practices for modern life. Many of these rituals can be brought into our modern lives. For example, start your day with a cleansing ritual. It could be a warm bath with salt, or simply washing your hands with intention, releasing yesterday's worries. Drink healing teas. Ginger, hibiscus, or peppermint teas connect you to traditions of natural medicine. Practice gratitude with ancestors. Speak the names of those who came before you. Light a candle or pour water in their honor. Connect with your hair or skin. Care for yourself slowly as an act of love, not just routine. Share meals with loved ones. Even one shared dinner a week can root you in community. These small practices, repeated with mindfulness, link us to centuries of resilience. They remind us that self-care is more than luxury. It is heritage. Rest as a sacred practice. In many African and diasporic traditions, rest itself is seen as sacred. In a world that often measures worth by productivity, choosing to rest is an act of reclaiming power. Enslaved Africans were denied rest. Their descendants often grew up in systems where constant work was demanded simply to survive. To rest, therefore, is not laziness, it is survival. Audre Lorde, the Black feminist poet and activist, once said, "Caring for myself is not self-indulgence, it is self-preservation, and that is an act of political warfare." Her words echo what African traditions have always known. Rest restores strength, and strength sustains freedom. Whether it is through afternoon naps, quiet meditation, or deep breathing at the end of a long day, resting becomes a way to tell the body, you deserve peace. You are allowed to pause. Food as medicine and connection. Food has always been central to self-care in the African diaspora. Meals are not only nourishment for the body, but also medicine for the soul and a reminder of community. The act of cooking traditional dishes, whether it is jollof rice, collard greens, plantains, or okra soup, connects people to their ancestors and to cultural memory. Sharing food with others is equally important. A meal cooked with love, seasoned with memory, and served with gratitude can be healing for both the cook and those who eat. As the proverb says, one who eats alone cannot discuss the taste of the food with others. In other words, food fulfills its deepest purpose when it is shared. Music, movement, and dance. Across the diaspora, music and dance have always been powerful tools of self-care. Drumming circles, gospel choirs, reggae rhythms, hip-hop beats, all of these expressions carry healing vibrations. They allow the body to release stress and the spirit to rise. In African traditions, dance is prayer. It is a way of honoring the body's freedom, even in the face of hardship. Movement allows energy to flow, trauma to release, and joy to return. Whether in a crowded church or alone in your room, letting your body move to rhythm can be a profound act of healing. Journaling. With Proverbs 1, modern way to bring African self-care practices into daily life is through journaling with Proverbs. Proverbs are wisdom distilled into short, memorable lines. They can serve as prompts for reflection, healing, and guidance. For example, wisdom is like a baobab tree. No one individual can embrace it. Write about the communities or people who support your growth. However long the night, the dawn will break. Reflect on a challenge in your life and the hope you carry for a brighter tomorrow. Rain does not fall on one roof alone. List the shared blessings and struggles that connect you with others. By journaling with Proverbs, we honor the wisdom of our ancestors while nurturing our modern wellness. Self-care as connection to ancestors. Another key element of self-care in African traditions is remembering the ancestors. In many cultures, ancestors are not gone. They walk with us, offering guidance and protection. Taking time to honor them is itself a form of self-care because it roots us in a greater story. This can be as simple as lighting a candle, speaking their names, or reflecting on the lessons they left behind. Some create small altars with photos, flowers, or objects of remembrance. These rituals remind us that we are not walking alone. We carry the strength of those who came before us. The heart of self-care is not only personal, but also communal. While Western culture often views self-care as individual, African and diasporic wisdom reminds us that true wellness is found in Jamie, community. Caring for ourselves means caring for others and letting others care for us. Checking on a neighbor, calling a loved one, or volunteering becomes nourishment for both giver and receiver. As that proverb says, a single bracelet does not jingle. Alone, we are quiet. Together, we create harmony. Self-care is holistic: body, mind, spirit, ancestors, and community. It is survival, resistance, and legacy. When you rest, honor ancestors, or gather in love, you thrive. Your healing is never just yours, it strengthens generations.